Hey campers, it's Emmy from Nature, just here to do a little follow-up with you on your nature core activity of make a mini greenhouse. Now, if you haven't done this activity yet, if you haven't put together your greenhouse, that's okay. You can do it anytime. Those seeds will last you a while. But if you need a little bit of motivation to do that, how does this look right here? So this is my mini greenhouse. I planted this about a month ago, and look how amazing it is doing. So I would recommend that when you plant yours, when it starts to grow, when stuff starts to reach the lid of the container, you can plant it into something else then. If you decide to let it grow a little bit longer like I did, just know that you have to put a little bit more water in it a little more often. When you have the lid on it, that water kind of stays in there and keeps it nice and watered, but when you take the lid off, the water evaporates, and so you need to keep adding more water so that the little pellets feel kind of like a wet sponge, so the plants will have enough water. Now, as you can see, we've got fennel over here. The fennel is doing great. We've got the dill right here, and the dill and the fennel, their leaves look kind of similar. The basil over here looks much different. Those are nice big basil leaves. That's enough to throw in a pot of spaghetti right there. Now, when we do science, we know that sometimes experiments turn out the way that we expect them to, and sometimes they don't. So when I planted this, I thought, I think that the basil seeds and the dill seeds, those are going to grow pretty fast because they have really soft outside seed cases on their seeds. So I figured the water could get right in there and they could grow really fast. I thought that the fennel might take a little bit more time because it had a little bit of a harder shell on the outside, a little bit of a harder seed coat. And I thought that the coriander would probably, the cilantro would probably grow at about the same time as the fennel. But it turned out that was not the case at all. I thought for a while that I wasn't going to get cilantro at all. It just wasn't blooming. But then about a week ago, look at that little darling right there. So I finally did get a little bit of cilantro to grow. And I think next time I plant cilantro, I'm just going to plant some more seeds so that more of them have a chance to grow. So that's with science. You make a guess about what's going to happen, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to do your experiment over again, and if you keep getting the same results, that'll teach you something about the steps that you should take to make something successful. But if you get different results, then you can change the steps that you take to make your outcome what you want it to be. So what I'm going to do today is give these guys a better home. So I don't have a garden, but I do have this nice big flower pot here, and I have some potting soil. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this soil in the bottom of this pot. And I've got a piece of paper here underneath, there's a little pot in there, this piece of paper underneath what I'm doing here at the table so I can keep some of my mess contained there. So I'm going to put, that soil smells nice. It smells like nice, healthy soil. I'm going to put that in there, spread it around a little bit. Okay. Now, if you can see, do you see how my plants are kind of all growing in this direction? Can you guess why that might be? Why they're all kind of growing that way? Where do you think the window was? It was right here when I had them sitting in front of the window. So they were reaching toward the sun. They really needed that sunlight. So we know that plants need sun to grow, they need water to grow, and they also need carbon dioxide. It's what we breathe out, and then they give us oxygen back. And so these plants were reaching toward that sunshine. And what they do with that and the water and the carbon dioxide is they make their own food. They make sugars, and that helps them to survive. Now, this is kind of funny. They started sticking together. Look at the roots on that. Like, that is some happy fennel. So I will say that I should have probably put this in a bigger pot a little sooner and given it a little bit more space for those roots to grow. So what I'm going to do is take my soil here, just make a little bit of a hole in there for it, and put that whole pellet right down there in the soil, and then cover it back up again. These guys are needing a little bit of water right now, which is why they're a little bit droopy, but once I have it watered, the plants will fill up with water, the leaves will fill up with water, and it'll perk back up again. Put that in there, all right? I'm gonna make another hole right next to it. I'm gonna try to do this so that I move this over a little bit, so I leave enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna put them all in this pot. For now, I might have to change them to bigger pots a little bit later. All right, next I'm going to do, I think I'll do the basil next because it looks quite a bit different from the fennel. So I'm gonna put that in next. Oh, those smell nice. Those basil leaves smell really nice. Okay, I'm gonna put that down in there. All right, and then I will do the dill. Dill smells kind of nice too. Not quite as strong as the basil, but it has a really nice, almost like a pickle smell to it, because that's how we make dill pickles. Put this and vinegar and garlic and some other spices in a jar with some cucumbers and let it pickle away. All right, and then there's my little cilantro. So next time I'll plant more so it has more seeds at once, so it has some more little cilantro buddies. So I'm gonna keep this by the sun because they still need sunlight. They still need water from the soil that I'm gonna put in there, and they still need the carbon dioxide that I breathe out so that they can survive, and they're gonna give me back some oxygen until I eat them, and they're gonna give me a delicious dinner. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of information about each one of these little herbs here and different things you can use them for, and so enjoy. Fennel is a plant in the carrot family. It originally came from lands around the Mediterranean Sea, but now it grows all over the world, especially in dry soil near seacoasts and riverbanks. Fennel flowers are small and bright yellow. The stems are hollow and can grow up to 16 inches long. The feathery leaves of fennel are called fronds. The fronds, stems, and bulbs of fennel are edible and have a strong flavor similar to black licorice. This is a flavor that people either really like or really, really don't. Moths and butterflies like this swallowtail eat fennel fronds as well. Basil is a plant in the mint family that is thought to be originally from India, Southeast Asia, and Central Africa. There are many types of basil, and the type we've planted is sweet basil. For thousands of years, basil leaves have been used in medicines, foods, and ceremonies by many cultures. Basil flowers are sometimes white, sometimes purple. Basil goes really well with tomatoes, either cooked into a sauce, sprinkled on pizza, or in a fresh salad. Dill is an herb in the celery family. It originally came from areas around the Eastern Mediterranean and Western Asia. Dill can be used in soups and salads or on seafood and to make pickles. The flowers are white and yellow and are edible too. If it seems like I've mentioned pickles a lot, it's for a good reason. Americans eat more than 2.5 billion pounds of pickles a year. Billion! Cilantro is thought to be from the Mediterranean as well, but it is so ancient it's difficult to say for sure. It has been popular in many cultures around the world for thousands of years. Cilantro is an herb in the parsley family and can be easily mistaken for parsley, but watch out, parsley and cilantro taste very different. Cilantro leaves are used as an herb, and the seeds are used as a spice and are called coriander. They each have a very different flavor. Like fennel, many people love the taste of cilantro, and many people really do not. If you like the flavor of cilantro, it is delicious in sauces and salad dressings, in rice and tacos, and tastes great paired with lime juice.